Welcome, horror aficionados. Prepare yourselves for a spine-tingling journey. We're about to dive deep into the world of horror cinema. Our exploration will uncover the secrets behind these terrifying tales. Get ready to discover why these films continue to fascinate and frighten audiences worldwide. From the earliest silent films to modern masterpieces, horror has always held a unique power over our imaginations. This genre offers a thrilling escape from reality. It allows us to confront our deepest fears in a safe environment. But what is it about these films that keep us coming back for more? Join me as we unravel the mysteries of horror cinema. We'll trace its evolution over the decades. We'll explore the psychological and societal factors that contribute to its enduring appeal. And of course, we'll attempt to crown the most popular horror movie of all time. Section 2. The Dawn of Dread, Early Horror takes root. The roots of horror cinema run deep, stretching back to the birth of film itself. From the very beginning, filmmakers were fascinated by the potential of the medium to evoke strong emotions, particularly fear. In those early days, filmmakers were still experimenting with the medium. They quickly discovered the power of moving pictures to evoke fear and unease. The ability to manipulate time and space on screen opened up new possibilities for storytelling. One of the earliest examples of horror on screen is La Manoir du Diable from 1896. This film, though only a few minutes long, managed to capture the imagination of audiences with its supernatural themes. This silent short, directed by Georges Méliès, is considered by many to be the first true horror film. Méliès, a magician-turned-filmmaker, brought his expertise in illusion to the screen, creating a sense of wonder and dread. Méliès, a master of illusion, used innovative special effects to create a sense of the supernatural. His work laid the groundwork for future filmmakers to explore the boundaries of reality and fantasy. His film, though only a few minutes long, set the stage for the genre's future. It showed that film could be more than just a medium for storytelling. It could be a tool for evoking deep-seated emotions. Another landmark film, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari from 1920, emerged from Germany's Expressionist movement. This film took the genre to new heights with its unique visual style and psychological depth. This film used distorted sets, stark lighting and exaggerated acting to create a nightmarish atmosphere. The visual style of The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari was unlike anything audiences had seen before, making it a seminal work in the horror genre. These early films, though primitive by today's standards, tapped into a primal fear of the unknown. They showed that horror could be a powerful tool for exploring the darker aspects of human nature. They established many of the tropes that would come to define the horror genre. The use of shadows, eerie sound effects, and supernatural creatures became staples of horror cinema. The use of shadows, eerie sound effects, and supernatural creatures would continue to haunt cinema screens for decades to come. These elements created an atmosphere of suspense and terror that captivated audiences. These early pioneers of horror paved the way for a new breed of filmmakers. They showed that horror could be a legitimate and powerful genre, capable of exploring complex themes and emotions. They were ready to push the boundaries of fear and explore the darkest corners of the human psyche. Their work laid the foundation for the rich and diverse world of horror cinema that we know today. Section 3. Monsters Among Us. Universal Studios sets the stage. The 1930s saw the rise of Universal Studios as a powerhouse of horror cinema, a period that would forever change the landscape of the genre. Universal unleashed a pantheon of iconic monsters upon the world, each more terrifying and fascinating than the last. Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman and the Mummy became synonymous with the genre, their images etched into the collective consciousness. These creatures, often misunderstood and ostracized, tapped into societal anxieties about the other, reflecting deeper fears and prejudices of the time. These films were not just about cheap thrills, they were a mirror to society's own fears and insecurities. They explored complex themes of morality, science, and the nature of humanity, delving into questions that still resonate today. Lon Chaney Jr., Boris Karloff, and Bela Lugosi delivered unforgettable performances, bringing depth and nuance to their monstrous roles. They brought these monstrous figures to life with a mixture of pathos and terror, making audiences both fear and empathize with them. Universal's monster movies established a blueprint for horror filmmaking that would be imitated and subverted for generations, influencing countless filmmakers. The studio's influence on the genre is undeniable, setting the standard for what horror could achieve. They created a template for monster movies that continues to resonate with audiences today, inspiring new generations of horror fans and filmmakers. The enduring popularity of these creatures is a testament to the power of classic horror, showing that these stories still captivate and terrify. It's a reminder that some fears are timeless and universal, transcending generations and continuing to haunt our imaginations. Section 4. Psycho and Slashers, a new era of fear. The 1960s marked a significant turning point for horror cinema, a decade that would redefine the genre forever. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho from 1960 shattered cinematic conventions and ushered in a new era of psychological horror. It was a film that dared to explore the human psyche in ways never seen before. Hitchcock's masterpiece proved that terror could be found not just in supernatural creatures, but also in the darkest recesses of the human mind. Psycho was a game-changer, a film that left audiences questioning their own sanity. It introduced the world to Norman Bates, one of cinema's most chilling villains. His unsettling presence and complex character added layers of depth to the horror genre. The film's unflinching violence, shocking twists, and exploration of sexual repression pushed the boundaries of what was acceptable on screen. It challenged societal norms and forced viewers to confront uncomfortable truths. Psycho paved the way for the slasher subgenre, which would dominate horror cinema in the following decades. This new wave of horror films took inspiration from Hitchcock's bold storytelling. Films like The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974 and Halloween from 1978 continued to explore themes of violence and madness. They pushed the envelope even further, creating a visceral experience for audiences. They introduced audiences to a new breed of relentless killers: Michael Myers, Leatherface, and Freddy Krueger. These characters were not just villains, they were embodiments of pure evil. These masked killers became cultural icons, embodying our deepest fears of the unknown and the unstoppable. Their legacy continues to influence horror films to this day, reminding us that true terror never dies. All right, so now we step into the realm of the supernatural. It's a space where the impossible becomes possible and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. From ghostly apparitions to demonic possessions, the supernatural horror genre taps into our deepest fears of the unknown. It's fascinating how these stories can take us to a place beyond our reality, making us question what we believe to be true. And well, isn't that the essence of a great horror movie? To challenge our perceptions and leave us with a lingering sense of wonder and dread. Horror films tap into our deepest fears, playing on the primal emotions that lie within us all. They exploit our anxieties and push the boundaries of our comfort zones. It's fascinating, really, how these movies can evoke such intense reactions, making us confront what we dread the most. From the fear of the unknown to the terror of losing control, horror films mirror the darkest corners of our minds. Horror has always been a powerful mirror reflecting societal issues. These films often address real-world anxieties, from political unrest to social injustices. They provide a unique lens through which we can explore and critique the world around us. By exaggerating our fears, horror allows us to engage with difficult topics in a way that's both compelling and thought-provoking. Over the years, many horror films have captivated audiences and become cultural phenomena. Movies like Psycho, The Exorcist, and Get Out have left an indelible mark on the genre. These films not only scared us, but also resonated deeply, earning their place as some of the most popular and influential horror movies of all time. Their impact is undeniable, and they continue to be celebrated by fans and critics alike. Despite the fear and unease they evoke, horror films have an enduring appeal. They offer a safe space to explore our fears and experience the thrill of the unknown. The genre's ability to evolve and adapt keeps it fresh and exciting, drawing in new generations of fans. Ultimately, horror films remind us of our humanity, our vulnerabilities, and our resilience in the face of fear. It's this timeless connection that ensures horror will always have a place in our hearts and minds.